Anyway, let's watch.
Okay,
What do Americans think of
what's your favorite
socialized
nutty
medicine?
sauce?
What do you think about socialized healthcare?
I do not like the idea of that.
I don't
Oh my God. Oh my God. Thank God. Brave American right there.
want
Real
the
American.
government picking what I can and cannot do.
Well, my husband's from Europe, so
Yeah, if you go to fucking Times Square, you're not going to find an actual New Yorker. You're going to
Been here
find like
11
every
months and I
goddamn
still don't know
tourist.
what you're
They're
talking
dumb enough to
about.
go to Times Square. Why would you ever listen to their opinion? I'm sorry, dude. If you're stupid enough to go to fucking Times Square, then like, you know, I don't care about your opinion at all.
I think it's pretty good, actually. I think a lot
Like
of
they
people...
literally went to a heavily populated area of New York that's mostly populated by, you know, naked cowboys, dudes who are trying to fucking sell you their mixtape, or people who are giving you flyers when you're walking down the fucking street, Applebee's, and ads. Like, you're going to Times Square to see fucking ads, dude. Like, just put yourself in the mentality of someone who's like, oh yeah, I need to go see the goddamn big ads on the jumbo screen. Like, what the fuck?
are covered by it. Everybody's covered. They don't have to worry about paying for it.
It's definitely more accessible for everybody. It allows all of us to remain healthy, to live long lives as much as we can.
I think it's kind of a necessity that the government provides healthcare for its citizens.
If everybody has something for free, who's going to pay for it?
Okay, what if people pay for it by taxes? What do you think of that?
Well, that's going to increase. Do you like to pay taxes?
I mean, you're literally paying for it. I love my favorite thing, and I've talked about this before. My favorite thing is like when people describe normal things that they simply do not understand. So they talk about it like it's with a skeptical lens, like, you know how I do that like bit about the DMV? Like, you mean to tell me I got to go to a government agency and take a photo of myself, put my thumbprint down, and then they give me a piece of paper so I can drive my vehicle that I bought with my hard-earned dollars? You fucking kidding me? Like it's just like a normal part of the process. But like Republicans can turn that into like something authoritarian if they like talk about it in skeptical terms. And this guy's basically doing that with health insurance, right? Or with healthcare, where he's like, what the fuck? You mean to tell me that like I'm going to pay into a pool of funds so that I can like take out money eventually when I desperately need that healthcare? That sounds fucking crazy. It's like, congratulations. You just described the concept of insurance. Okay? And making it into a taxed system, putting that into the taxation system, or having the government control that, basically eliminates the fucking middleman and has the largest possible pool. Like, you know, you're just describing insurance. There's a stunning new report that ranks the U.S. dead last in healthcare amongst the richest countries despite spending the most. I mean, this is not a new report. This is like an ongoing thing. The report analyzed 71 healthcare performance measures into 5 categories. Norway, the Netherlands, and Australia were the top performing countries overall, with the U.S. coming in dead last. Last on access to care, administrative efficiency, equity, and healthcare outcomes, despite spending 70% of the GDP on healthcare. There you go. And you pay fucking so much. We pay so much for healthcare. That's the funniest part. Like, we literally pay more for healthcare than anybody else. People always use the argument that the standard healthcare in the U.S. is better because it's all private, not realizing it's ranked 37th best in the world behind loads of socialized healthcare systems. Yes. The thing is, in the United States of America, experimental treatment, like certain experimental treatments, like certain things, and that's why Ben Shapiro always cherry picks this shit, like, I don't know, like fucking brain cancer or whatever the fuck, is above and beyond, okay? It's like one of the best, like, we'll have like some of the best treatments and healthcare facilities. Now, part of that is also rationed off for just rich people. If you can afford to pay for it, yeah, you can get one of the best. Okay? But most people can't afford to pay for it, so they don't get anything. So when people always say like, well, you know, in fucking you know, in the UK, they ration healthcare. They ration healthcare. They ration healthcare. It's like, yeah, they ration it by need rather than by who can afford to pay for it. You fucking idiot. And overall, though, when we talk about like other, it's like saying Turkey has the best healthcare because they have the best, like, you know, nose plastic surgeons or the best hair transplant surgeries. You know what I mean? If you wanted to say like the Turkish healthcare system is the best in the fucking world and point to just that, then yeah, you're correct. It's like saying Korean healthcare is the best because they have the fucking best plastic surgeons in general. Like, every country has a thing that they're good at. We happen to be good at like a couple different cancer treatments. Cuba is better than us with respect to lung cancer at the very least because they have a literal fucking lung cancer vaccine. Also a higher life expectancy. But pound for pound, when it comes to like new chemical compound discoveries and everything else, when you actually look at it from a per capita point of view, the United States of America is like barely cracking the top 10 with respect to like Switzerland and all these other countries that have more affordable or completely fucking public healthcare institutions and healthcare systems and healthcare research in general. So we're number one when you look at the overall number, but that's because we're a gigantic country. We're a massive country. We have a lot of fucking institutions. And of course, we're going to be number one with like new chemical compounds across the board. But we're not number one when it comes to the per capita argument, when it comes to like new chemical compound developments. And that's a pharmaceutical argument. Okay, that's an argument about like pharmaceutical research and whatnot. And even then, most of our pharma R&D and drug discovery is government funded. Yes, this is also true. So it's really dumb. It's a really silly way, but like dipshits like Steven Crowder, who can afford to pay for, you know, whatever treatment that they're getting, like, you know, top surgery or whatever the fuck he's doing right now, you know, off of the people that he's milked by yelling about how fucking American healthcare is great and socialized healthcare would be terrible. Okay? I believe in socialized medicine, but doesn't Denmark have super high taxes that people can't afford because of it? I'm sorry if this is a dumb question. I genuinely don't know. What do you mean super high taxes? No. Like, a lot of OECD nations that we rarely ever compare ourselves to have a higher top marginal tax rate, for example, for income and shit like that. But ultimately, what do you mean? They can't afford higher tax rates? Like, it's silly as fuck. It's a silly take. They also have KDV or a VAT. And even then, even then, the higher tax rate is comparable to like the United States when it was thriving or when the middle class was large and growing. You know what I mean? Even like, I mean, there was a period in time when in the United States of America, the top marginal tax rate was literally fucking 90%, dude. Our healthcare being tied to our place in the workforce, another thing corporate entities can hold us keep working. Yes, that is deliberate. It's by design, just like college debt. Okay, student loan debt is created in a way by design to force masses that go to fucking college to go and take on jobs, no matter what their situation, no matter what their circumstances are, because they're desperate to pay off their fucking loans. Same with like employer-backed healthcare. If your healthcare is tied to your employment, then you're not going to want to rock the boat. I mean, even myself, even someone like myself, experienced this when I made that fucking big leap to Twitch. It was the greatest thing I've ever done. When I left TYT, I left behind my fucking healthcare. And that was a terrifying prospect for someone. Especially because like that was the main motivator for me staying at fucking the Young Turks. Because I was like, I'm terrified. What if I can't fucking, you know, what if Twitch doesn't work out? What if I get banned? You know what I mean? Oh, yeah. Wendell Potter is one of my favorite people. Former vice president of Cigna said the U.S. health insurance companies lobby the government to spread misinformation about universal health care. Yes, we know that already. He did it himself personally when he was the VP at Cigna. Wendell Potter is awesome. He's a ex, insurance industry executive who like is a big Medicare for all defender and advocate. But that's the big reason they constantly vilify any sort of effort towards socialization. And that's the problem. But yeah, isn't the U.S. too large for centralized healthcare? Just honestly curious. No, because one, economy scale, right? So as far as like the size of the United States healthcare system, you can absolutely have a fucking massive healthcare system. you can absolutely have a massive healthcare system because we have more money. We have more people. We have more doctors. We have more money. We have more institutions. Like, we can do it. I want the freedom to pay more.
So have you ever avoided seeking health care or treatment or medication or any sort of health service because of the cost and you were worried about having to pay some sort of fee?
Yes, I have experienced that a lot with patients that come in with pneumonia but have been at home for a matter of 5 days and came in when it got worse and had to be admitted to the hospital. And we're like, why didn't you come in sooner? Well, I couldn't afford this bill, so I was trying to take care of myself at home first.
Even just at school, I know people who, let's say, don't have the student health insurance plan, won't go get, let's say, like contraception or things like that because they don't really want to pay for it out of pocket.
I found out later that I had sprained my ACL. I couldn't move, but I also didn't want to call an ambulance because I couldn't afford it.
So what'd you do?
I got on my friend's back.
But my sister, she has like a lot of allergies, so like instead of like using the ambulance for her like anaphylactic allergies, we have to drive her, which is very scary because you know you don't know about like traffic or anything. You don't have the same privileges as an ambulance on the road.
Have you ever not sought treatment because you're afraid of a cost?
No, ma'am.
Do you know anyone who has?
No, ma'am.
What about people who are afraid of the cost of, say, an ambulance?
Okay, that happens all the time because we have so many Americans that don't want to go in debt and they're trying to save money and they think they can go buy.
Hey, guess what? That's the freedom, though, right? That's the individual freedom to fucking die.
Car instead of an ambulance.
Spending on U.S. healthcare has grown steadily, rising from $2,900 per person in 1980 to $11,200 per person in 2018, measured in 2018 dollars. A 290% increase. Yeah, we got to pump those numbers up, baby. It's not good enough.
So what would you think if that service was free?
If that service was free, anything that's free, sometimes it's not worth having.
%54% of doctors in the U.S. report getting medication for patients. That seems normal. Would the increase in tax for socialized healthcare and the average amount you pay for health insurance now essentially be the same amount? No, you would be getting money back in your pockets, especially if you're making less than, I think, like $200,000 a year. What was it? Under the Sanders plan, Cash App, thank you for the 69 gifted subs. Under the Sanders plan, I believe that Sanders Medicare for All plan, you would literally be saving money on the average health insurance cost that you would be having to pay. You guys have to pay for an ambulance too. The ambulance side of it is completely privatized with like very little help from local funds. So the ambulance part of it is like way more expensive.
77% of people in Britain support the NHS and are happy with it. Would you say that you are happy with the United States healthcare system?
No, definitely not.
No, and I'm actually pretty lucky because I work for the university, so my insurance is pretty good, and even then I'm not happy with it.
That's a loaded question. I have insurance, and it's good insurance through my husband's company, but we pay through the nose for it. If it were free, I would love that. And if we only paid $350 a month,
Maverick for the
that would be a
gift
huge deal.
I don't believe that our government should be responsible for providing all of us health care. I think the individuals need to be responsible. They need to have a job. They need to look for jobs that provide benefits.
There's so many people, especially people.
Only American hogs would be like, hey, do you think your healthcare system in America is good? And only an American hog would be like, that's a loaded question. Like, it's not. It's like a regular question, idiot. Like, you could just say yes, dumbass. The only reason why you think it's a fucking loaded question is because you understand intrinsically that, like, no, it's not. It's actually fucking dog shit, and you're forced to fucking pay for that. But because, like, something just beamed information in the back of your fucking brain that you literally cannot, like, remove yourself from, where you have to say, America number one, healthcare, baby, we're so good, because everyone fucking told me it was good when I was growing up.
People from sort of like lower socioeconomic backgrounds who can't get the health care that they need because they just can't afford it.
The premiums are still pretty high. They're not unreasonable, but they're still pretty high. The medicine I have to pay for is not covered that much, and it's not even anything crazy. It's literally allergy medicine. And I still have to pay a fair amount every month for just allergies.
People are more than numbers, and they're more than, you know, the change that you make from, yeah, stiffing people out of their health care.
Every fucking country hog is dumb as fuck in this video. Holy shit. Rugged individualism, hell of a drug. Yeah, it's just really fucking bad. Insurance companies should have nothing to do with your healthcare. Americans boggle my fucking mind. It just sucks, dude. It actually just sucks. It's fucking dog shit. Especially when you got a lady that's like literally in the fucking Medicare sweet spot talking shit about socialized medicine. It's like, dude, you literally take advantage of socialized medicine. Like, you actually fucking are on Medicare, which is like the most popular healthcare system in this country. And the reason for why it's the most popular healthcare system in this country is because it's for old people, and old people vote.
Just get
like,
a job or go into
unimaginably popular in comparison to anything else.